so focused on so many other things that I want to bring it up again. Because it's 7 o'clock next Sunday. It'll be our 29th Zoom speaker series. This is giving us a new state of New Jersey. It'll be our 15th or 16th state, which we've had people speaking. The speaker is Lindsey Cormack. She is a professor. She's an author. She's a professor of political science at Stevens Institute of Technology in Hoboken, New Jersey. Her writings have been published in the New York Times, the Washington Post, NBC News, and The Hill. She's also the director of DC Inbox. She is a national speaker, and as of April, she will be an international speaker because she will be going to speak in Iceland. And for those of you saying, wait a minute, you ever been to Iceland? That's suspicious. Yes. My oldest daughter, Anna, as you know, lives in Iceland. And she was asked by Reykjavik University to put together a month-long symposia in Reykjavik on the American dream. What does it mean, and what do people in Iceland need to know about the American dream circa 2026? So she's gotten CEOs and other professors and other thought leaders to fly to Iceland who are going to speak, and so one of those who is going to go to Iceland in April to speak is Professor Lindsey Cormack, who will be our speaker next Sunday. This is Professor Cormack's most recent book. It is called How to Raise a Citizen and Why It's Up to You to Do It, which mostly focused on, it's like a how-to guide for parents. You want to raise good kids who understand civics and who can become good parts of this society, and not the guy that yells out "effing loser." This is a good guidebook for that. But it's also, as you'll see, I'm going to read just a couple of a few sentences. You'll see that it's really consistent with many of the things we've talked about here. Recently we were talking about Black History Month. We're talking about Women's History Month. April, we're going to hear some poets because it's National Poetry Month. But as we go into a midterm election, we're going to spend time this summer revisiting things we've talked about before, which is America. What are our themes? What are our values? What if someone is really following along with the American experiment? Where would they be on these issues? Would they be the hat that Janet's wearing that says "Humankind be both"? Would they wear a hat like Ed has? "We the people have had enough"? Or would they be yelling "effing losers"? So, again, just to give you a quick sense of why I think that her speech, her presentation to us next Sunday night will be so important. She talks about the skill of engaging in respectful, informed discussions, a key component of democratic participation. She says if a significant portion of the population feels disengaged and disempowered, our political system will end up representing only the interests of a dedicated few, leaving many others feeling resentful. She says, if we choose, she's talking about making sure that people stay engaged in the system. She says, if we choose to opt out of the system because of ignorance, fear, or apathy, we open possibilities for outcomes that may not go our way. She says, in a time when politics may seem polarized and overwhelming, I want to emphasize that there is hope. Together we can create a future that is more functional and efficient. Politics shouldn't be feared or avoided. Instead, it should be understood and embraced. She says, when people are easily swayed by sensational stories, media manipulators can exploit this vulnerability, feeding the outrage machine and distracting us from other issues that demand our attention. This sort of despair politics is common today, where rather than having discussions about how we can use our processes for solutions, we find ourselves entangled in a web of distractions and division. She says a well-informed citizenry is the backbone of a healthy democracy. It enables us to make better decisions, hold our elected officials accountable, and actively participate in shaping our collective destiny. And finally, she says, by actively choosing to engage and learn about politics, we can better participate in decision-making processes, advocate for our interests, and contribute to society. By knowing more, we make it more likely our voices are heard, our values are represented, and our concerns are addressed. The payoff of opting in to learn about politics is the ability to actively shape our future and create a more inclusive and responsive democratic system. In passing this on to our kids, we allow them to create a better future for themselves. Believe me, you can't just say, well, he read me that, now I don't have to attend the Zoom. I know everything she was going to say.